Hi, hello, and if you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Now, in the UK, we have something called the Boat Safety Scheme, or BSS, and every 4 years you have to get your boat through the BSS inspection to get your BSS certificate. Now, my inspection is due later in the year, September, October time, I think it is, and there is a chance that I might be out on the canals cruising when my BSS is due. Now, the thing is that if I don't have a valid BSS, then my insurance isn't valid, my license isn't valid, and I basically shouldn't be out on the canals. So therefore, it's important that I get my BSS certificate done before I head off on my summer cruising adventure. Now, this is the old BSS, and this was dated, I believe, 2013, and this has been replaced by a new version dated September 2023. And this is just a checklist. The actual full specification runs for about 195 pages. And what I've done, as you can sort of see here, is I've been through this new one to see how it differs from the old checklist and to see if there's anything I can check before I go in for the certification. Now, the thing is, the last time I had this done, or I didn't have it done, the last time the boat had it done was in, I think, 2022. So it predates this new one. So that's why I just want to go through and check things. It looks at things like your fuel lines, your fuel tanks, gas, safety features on board, electrics, a whole range of different things. And I've been through this document and it's not that different from the 2013 version. So hopefully, unless the previous owner made any changes that I don't know about since the last certificate, everything should be okay. However, there is always the problem of wear and tear, things just getting old. So I need to go through the boat and just sort of check to make sure smoke detectors are working, the fire extinguishers are okay, all those sorts of things, just to make sure that everything is okay on board. So this is not a sort of fully comprehensive BSS check. These are the things that I've identified that I can check on board before I put it in for its full certification. Okay, so I've made a little BSS pre-inspection checklist. I've got it here. I was hoping to get it all on one page, but it seems to have sort of spilled over onto 3 pages. And what I'm going to do is work through this checklist. Basically, it's looking at the gas system, ventilation, the stoves, electrical system, fuel system, engine and fire safety, fire equipment, alarms, escape routes, general safety. And then I've got a last section, which is a final series of checks that I will do on the day of the inspection, just to make sure that batteries in smoke detectors, etc., haven't gone flat. So let's work our way through this list. And I'm going to kick off with the gas system. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to test is the gas system. Now, one thing I'm going to be using is this little device here. Now, this is a sort of gas sniffer. You calibrate it in fresh air. I've got all the windows open in here at the moment. So it'll calibrate. So now that it's calibrated, just to prove that it works, I'll test it on one of the rings here. Yep, and that's definitely working. I'll then use a detector to check for leaks in the gas locker at the front of the boat. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to check is for leaks. And having checked both tanks, there's no leak, so that's good. Next on the list is drain holes out of the boat, because the gas is heavier than air, so it will sink to the bottom of the locker and it needs some way of getting out of the locker. So there's holes in the side, and there is one to the port side. Both are open, so any gas that leaks out of the tanks can go straight into the canal and not gain access to the inside of the boat. Overall, the locker appears to be in good condition. Nothing obviously wrong. Both cylinders are chained up and can't fall over, which is good. The pipework is protected, which is good. and the pipe work is clipped into place, which should be fine. I've checked the hoses and they appear to be okay. I can't find any obvious cracks in them, and they appear to be in date, which I believe is 10 years. So these hoses date from 2021. Sorry, it's upside down in this image, but that's the way it is. Now, there shouldn't be any holes or way for gas to get from the gas locker into the cabin of the boat other than via the pipework. And there's no holes in the bulkhead there. And the main gas line coming into the boat is sealed, so that should be fine. Now, the only appliance on board that uses the gas is the stove, and I need to check for the isolation valve, make sure that the flame failure device is fitted, make sure the burners produce a clean blue flame, there's no smell of gas. Well, I've checked it over with the gas sniffer and it was fine. Okay, so check of the burners. They appear to be okay. Clean blue flame, can't see a problem there, so that's good. I've already sniffed around them with the sniffer and there's no obvious gas leaking out of the stove. And for the gas safety cutoff, you should hear a click after the gas has gone out. That click there. Grill fires up okay, so that's good. And the oven fires up okay, so that seems to be fine as well. Location of the gas shut-off valve is labelled, and the gas shut-off valve is accessible. And I've checked it for leaks and it's all fine. One thing I do have on the boat that doesn't seem to be part of the safety test is an LPG alarm, a gas alarm, and I can test that. Yes, it's working, showing no gas, and that all seems to be fine. So I'm pretty sure that's the gas system checked, or at least as much of it as I can actually do. So the next thing on my list is ventilation. I need to make sure that the fixed vents are present and not closable. The vents are not blocked or covered, and the mushroom vents in the ceilings are okay and open as well. And they've got their sort of grills clear. So let's have a look at those. Okay, so these are the vents at the front of the boat. That one's not closed. It looks open to me. There's no way of actually closing it. And it's fine on the outside of the boat, although it could do with a bit of painting. The vent in the door is fine and it's open. There's no way of closing it. And it's fine on the outside of the boat. Mushroom vents on the outside of the boat. I've got 5 of them and they are all open and clear. So I just need to check on the inside to make sure that the grill is okay. The mushroom vents on the inside of the boat, they're obviously clear and open. You can see daylight through them. Back door vents on the outside of the boat are okay. They're clear, obviously not closed. The ventilators at the back of the boat are clear and open. And like the ventilator at the front of the boat, it says do not obstruct. So that's good. Next up is the solid fuel stove. Well, it's installed and it's got non-combustible hearth as far as I can tell. And the flue is in good condition and secure, and there's no sign of heat damage nearby, so hopefully all of that will be okay. Looks fine to me. Flue looks okay, no obvious problems with it, so hopefully that will all be okay. Next up is electrical systems. The wiring needs to be tidy and secure, which it appears to be. And I've had a good look around in there and I can't see any obviously exposed live connectors. Batteries need to have isolators and in a compartment that is well ventilated, and I think those 3 holes at the top of the compartment counts as well ventilated. Now the batteries need to be secure, and they are. I can't move them, they're well strapped in there. The terminals need to be protected. I'm not too sure what that means on the BSS, but hopefully those are. There's adequate battery ventilation, as I've just shown you. All circuits are fused, so I've checked in the fuse cupboard and I've checked here, and everything seems to be fused. And the main battery positive is fused, and I can't quite work out how to check that, but hopefully that is fused as well. And as I've said, the batteries are fitted with isolation switches and they're all labelled, which is good. Next up is the fuel system. The fuel lines need to be secure and leak free, which as far as I can see they are. They need to have accessible shut-off valves, which they do here. I have to lift the board up to get to them, and the board is labelled, but they are accessible there. The tank needs to be secure and fitted, which it is. And I've also checked the fuel lines for the Webasto heater and the diesel stove in the lounge, and those all appear to be secure and leak free, so hopefully those should be fine as well. I've also checked the fuel lines coming from the main back tank and checked that the fuel cock, the shut-off valve, is accessible. I've also checked that the fuel valves are accessible. The back fuel valve there is accessible, as is the one on the filter system, and their location is labelled. The engine bay is clean and tidy. There are no oil or fuel leaks that I can find, and there's no obvious combustible clutter around, so that should all be fine as well. Next thing to look at is fire safety equipment. Now I have 3 fire extinguishers on board and I've checked them all. They seem to be fine, they're in date, they're accessible, and I've got a fire blanket in the galley. Now I'm not too sure how many fire extinguishers I need on board, but I've got 3. And the boat passed the last inspection with 3 fire extinguishers on board. And I also need to check the smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. Yep, that one works fine. That passes its test. The carbon monoxide alarm in the kitchen. And the carbon monoxide alarm in the boatsman's cabin. Now escape routes need to be clear and accessible, which they are. That's the main front door. Side hatch. Another side hatch. Yet another side hatch. And the back doors. So that's my checklist completed. The only thing I've really got left on it is sort of general safety, which is sort of making sure everything's secure, there's no trip hazards around, and that the boat appears to be structurally sound, which it is. And then tomorrow I'll test the alarms again, I'll check for gas leaks, I'll inspect the gas locker to make sure it's still okay, I'll check that the extinguishers are accessible and I've not left anything in the way of the extinguishers. I'll check the engine bay again for clutter, but it's clear at the moment, so it should be clear tomorrow. And I'll run the stove briefly just to make sure it all fires up and all the burners are still working. So, fingers crossed that tomorrow the boat will pass its boat safety scheme certificate. Okay, so that's the boat safety scheme passed. That means I've got a BSS certificate for the next 4 years, so that is great news. So anyway, hopefully you found this video interesting and or informative. And if you have, please don't forget to give it a big like, a big thumbs up. And also if you get a chance, please click that hype button because that really, really helps. And if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing. Again, thanks for watching for this long. On the screen now, you'll see a QR code and that will take you through to a free newsletter about the Grey Wagtail. So you'll get a notification in your email when a new video comes out. Don't worry, I don't bombard you with spam. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Bye for now.